The drama surrounding Team USA basketball did not explode with a press release or a viral clip. It started quietly, almost invisibly, the way real power shifts usually do. No flashing cameras, no dramatic announcement. Just a gym in North Carolina, winter air hanging cold outside, and a player walking through the doors who was about to force everyone inside to rethink what they thought they knew about women's basketball. Caitlin Clark did not announce herself. She did not need to. Within minutes, the gym announced her presence for her. By the third day of Team USA camp, it was already impossible to pretend this was just another routine gathering of elite talent. The logo threes were back, reining in with a casual cruelty that felt unfair even to professionals who had spent their entire lives preparing to guard shooters exactly like this. Caitlin could not miss. Not in warm-ups, not in drills, not when the defense tightened and pressure ramped up. This was not hot shooting in the fluky sense. It was inevitability. Watching her knock down shot after shot felt less like competition and more like watching gravity do its job. People noticed immediately. Coaches who had seen everything leaned forward in their chairs without even realizing it. Conversations stopped mid-sentence when the ball found her hands. The rhythm of practice changed without anyone saying a word. It is hard to describe how fast that shift happens when a truly special player steps into a space. But those who have witnessed it know exactly what it looks like. The air gets heavier. Every possession starts to matter more. Suddenly, everyone is measuring themselves against a new standard they did not know was about to be set. According to reporting from inside camp, later revealed by Sabrina Ionescu in behind-the-scenes conversations, Caitlin Clark did not just participate at Team USA camp. She reshaped it. The way it was described made it sound like she walked in and quietly rewrote the power structure in real time. Not through ego, not through demands, but through performance so overwhelming that denial became impossible. Team USA camp is designed to be calm and controlled. It is supposed to feel almost clinical. Elite players sharpen systems, build chemistry, and prepare for international competition that punishes mistakes without mercy. Everyone usually knows their role. Everyone believes they understand the hierarchy, or at least they think they do. But the moment Caitlin stepped onto that court, that hierarchy started to wobble like a poorly stacked tower. She arrived without fanfare, without a media circus trailing her every move. But within literal minutes, the energy in the gym shifted. Drills that had been routine suddenly carried urgency. Defensive schemes bent toward her without being told to. Coaches adjusted spacing instinctively, as if their bodies understood something their minds had not caught up to yet. Caitlin did not ask to be the center of attention. The game demanded it, and that is where the discomfort began. Dominance like that does not just elevate one player. It exposes everyone else in the room. It forces comparison. It makes veterans uncomfortable. It makes rising stars question timelines they thought were already written. By the time the final day of camp rolled around, tension sat just below the surface. According to multiple accounts, one player chose to step away early, not because of injury, not because of a cut, but because the direction of the gym had become undeniable, and it was not pointing toward them. Sabrina's reporting revealed how deep that shift went. Caitlin was not just scoring, she was controlling everything. When she ran the offense, the pace changed instantly. The ball moved faster, cleaner, sharper. Reads happened a half second earlier than defenders could react to, and at this level, that half second is the difference between chaos and control. Players who had looked disconnected earlier in camp suddenly leaned in. They locked in because the game finally made sense. Caitlin did not just execute the system, she elevated it. This was her first real 5-on-5 action since July 15th, after a season filled with injuries and forced downtime. Yet there was no visible rust. If anything, there was hunger. She looked genuinely happy to be back in the process, smiling between reps, chatting with staff, soaking in the simple joy of playing basketball again. But when the whistle blew, a switch flipped. The calm turned sharp, and everyone in the gym was reminded exactly who she was. The physicality did not faze her either. International basketball is known for allowing more contact than the WNBA, something discussed endlessly by players and coaches. Scout team defenders were instructed to play physical, to test boundaries, to push limits. Caitlin welcomed it. She attacked through contact, absorbed bumps, kept her balance, and still delivered passes with surgical precision. It was a statement without words. This level is not too much for me, and those passes became their own storyline. When Caitlin was not playing alongside Aaliyah Boston, some bigs struggled to adjust to the speed and placement of her deliveries. One moment stood out in particular. She threaded a perfect pass to a teammate in stride, right where it needed to be. Instead of finishing, the player brought the ball down. At this level, that hesitation is costly. Sabrina later pointed out the truth behind it. When you play with someone like Caitlin Clark, you have to be ready. Her passes do not just find you. They find the exact spot where scoring should be automatic. If you hesitate, if you are not prepared for that precision, you will look bad. That is the difference between good passers and elite facilitators. Caitlin does not just move the ball. She engineers advantage. She sees plays before they exist. If you are not operating at her speed, the game leaves you behind. Paige Bueckers saw it immediately. Paige was watching everything unfold, recognizing what others were still trying to rationalize. When Caitlin ran the offense, everything upgraded. The pace improved, spacing tightened, decisions became cleaner. Paige, an elite competitor herself, did not flinch at the reality. This was not just another talented guard. This was someone functioning on a level that required everyone else to adjust. Not everyone adjusted the same way. Angel Reese was also at camp, running the same drills, playing the same minutes, competing just as hard. Early on, it was not frustration that crept in. It was something quieter and more unsettling. The game no longer revolved around her. The ball did not find her the way it once did. Sets no longer bent toward her strengths. The offense flowed past her instead of through her. This was not malicious. No coach froze her out. No decision was announced. This was basketball doing what basketball always does. When a dominant decision-maker emerges, the game reorganizes itself. Every huddle, every sideline adjustment, every subtle cue began revolving around Caitlin's presence. Not because she demanded it, but because the results demanded it. Angel felt the shift. It showed in her body language. The frustration built quietly, then heavier with each passing session. She continued to compete. She continued to fight. But the rhythm was no longer hers, and that realization is brutal for any star, especially one used to being central. Then came the scrimmage that changed everything. No cameras, no fans, no noise from the outside world, just pride, reps, and a gym full of players who understood exactly what was at stake. This was where talk stopped and basketball truth took over, where roles stopped being theoretical and started being earned in real time. Caitlin ran point like a seasoned veteran who had been there for years. She called adjustments on the fly, read coverages before they fully formed, and dictated tempo with a calm control that never wavered. Paige spaced the floor perfectly, sliding into gaps, trusting timing, and embracing her role without forcing anything. The ball moved with purpose, snapping from side to side like it was riding invisible tracks. It was beautiful basketball, efficient, ruthless, unforgiving. Every possession felt deliberate, and every decision had weight. Angel tried to impose herself through physicality and emotion, attacking space, battling for position, trying to bend the game back in her direction. But the game did not bend. It moved faster, smarter, cleaner, possession after possession, leaving no room for hesitation. She did not fade because she was benched or sidelined. She faded because the rhythm no longer needed her to function. That was the moment the truth landed heavy. This was no longer about talent or effort. This was hierarchy forming in real time, shaped by decision-making, control, and impact that showed up on every trip down the floor. Coaches noticed immediately. Assistants leaned in, whispered, and scribbled notes. Eyes followed Caitlin every possession, tracking how the offense flowed more smoothly when she was at the center of it. The message never had to be spoken out loud. The system worked better this way, and everyone in the gym understood it, including Angel. The final day of camp carried an eerie stillness. Caitlin controlled the floor with quiet authority, directing traffic, finishing plays, and radiating a confidence that cannot be taught or manufactured. Angel barely touched the ball in moments that mattered most. When the final whistle blew, the decision had already settled into the room without a single announcement. Then Angel walked out. There was no tantrum, no shouting, no dramatic scene, just a quiet exit that froze the gym in place. She did not wait for meetings or explanations. She stepped away, And in that silence, coaches exchanged looks while players avoided eye contact. Everyone knew exactly what that moment represented. Angel has been open in the past about frustration, about wanting more, about believing she deserves a better situation. But this moment was not about contracts, politics, or outside noise. This was about basketball truth. In that gym, on that floor, at that moment, Caitlin Clark was the best player present. The game chose her. When that happens, there is nothing anyone can do to fight it. You either adapt, recalibrate, and find your place, or you step away. Angel chose to step away, and as the doors closed behind her, one thing became impossible to deny. Team USA camp was not just another practice, it was a turning point. A moment when the future arrived early, took control of the room, and dared everyone else to keep up. Caitlin Clark did not embarrass anyone with words. She did it the only way that truly matters. With the ball, with the game, with a presence so undeniable that the entire gym had no choice but to adjust.